Welcome to a very exciting episode of Good Chat where we're talking all things local business in Warrnambool. My name's Liam Fitzgerald. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And we are talking all things commerce in Warrnambool, and something very exciting that is about to be launched this coming week in Warrnambool is Greater Warrnambool. What it's all about? Well, you're about to find out because I've got two of the members of the committee, the chair, Rod Brugman, and Annie Johnston from Vita, joining me here. Guys, thank you so much for your time, and how exciting that Greater Warrnambool is finally coming to fruition.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's been a journey. We started looking at a report that was done by a local consultant back in 2023, and businesses were surveyed, and 75% of the businesses at that time said we needed a business representative group, which we haven't had for a number of decades, in fact. So yeah, a lot of work gone into it, but here we are. We're incorporated and we're up and flying.
For those that don't know, Annie, what is Greater Warrnambool? What are some things that it's hoping to achieve, and what is this networking event this week ready for?
Oh yeah, great. So Greater Warrnambool is an advocacy group, really. We want to be a space that can work for, listen to the voices of local businesses and actually put into place or try to help put into place the things that are going to be more beneficial for Warrnambool as a whole. Like Rod said, Greater Warrnambool came out of a need for advocacy and a need for a voice. And I think in small towns, often we rely on independence and our own voices in that way, but we really do need someone or a group to come together and actually amalgamate those thoughts and put them into something that can actually take action. So next week, we're having our very first sort of soft launch, I suppose, of Greater Warrnambool, where we're really aiming at micro businesses, sole traders and small business owners to remove that idea of isolation.
Yep.
I've also only been in business in Warrnambool for 18 months, and I know the change from working in an organisation to being a sole trader has been quite aggressive. You are often alone. You are often second-guessing yourself when there's no one to bounce things off. So we're bringing together Greater Warrnambool Connect, where people who are business owners or a part of a business can come together and just shake out the cobwebs and see what's going on and talk about how we can help and collaborate with one another, because that's really what we need to do, opening our doors and not closing them off to one another.
And Rod, I know Paul Dillon and yourself and Matt and Annie and the steering committee have put so much time and effort into this process, and it's been a long time coming. Just take us back to the journey of where we've got to, because I know there's been a lot of attempts for a Chamber of Commerce in this area, and there's lots of mixed reports. I think this time it's different, and I'm really excited about what it is going to bring to the business community. But from your perspective, Rod, just tell me how we've got to where we've got to.
Well, as mentioned, there was a survey done, and we weren't part of that survey, but it sent some fairly clear signals from businesses in Warrnambool that we need to deal with some of the common issues and challenges that we have in business. So we started I would say a steering group, or you could call it a pilot committee, and that process was well over a year ago, and it's taken a year then to have a discussion around and conversations with businesses about what their needs are, and then piece together a committee. And then ultimately that committee of 9 local business people, we incorporated in April. And really it's just started from there. It's really gotten quite busy quite quickly in a very good way.
And obviously been about chasing supporters and getting a lot of people on board to help with things like accounts, just the everyday operations of an organisation like this. The response from what I've seen has been quite positive.
Yeah, I agree, and I've personally spoken to as many businesses as I can in that time. Just trying to get an idea of what value looks like to them. What would motivate a business if to join Greater Warrnambool? Yep. What do they need? What do they need to be represented on? And we've got some challenges like the economy right now. There's several major challenges. Perhaps a good example would be like global online shopping and competition through sites like Temu or be it Amazon or whatever, how is that impacting retailers? We've got to have those conversations about how we can, group together and combat that and make sure we're all here, in 5 or 10 or whatever years.
And Annie, I think the other part of it is advocating to LGA, the head of local government, state government, Chamber of Commerce, statewide, to make sure that people like us that run businesses in our community are getting the support we need. Yeah. As someone that that is in business in Warrnambool at the moment, what are some things that you, taking your Greater Warrnambool hat off, would like to see from an advocacy group like this?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question, and I think it's really variable and contextual. So I work in weddings and events, right, on Kepler Street. So for somebody like me, it's an idea of opening up the space, opening up our region to allow tourism to come in and make use of what we've already got. So I'm very much into hospitality and tourism and looking at bringing people into our area. Now, we can be aided in that through whether it be funding or advertising or just simply putting Victoria or Warrnambool out on the map. So I would very much like to see that. I'm also working with other local businesses just on Kepler Street to try to just simply brighten up our town.
Yeah.
It's actually just a little bit drab.
Yeah.
So what's enticing people to step out of their homes? It isn't a chipped old building down the main street, is it? There's something that they want to visit. So I would very much like to be advocating for local and global changes to our community.
Bit of a zhuzh up.
A bit of a zhuzh.
That's the way we want to look
at it.
But
no more pedestrian crossings.
No, yes. Or roundabouts.
No more roundabouts.
That's something
Thank you.
That's something I hope we can actually, take to the chamber. But you're 100% right. Yeah. There's a lot of communities, Rod, isn't there, in Victoria that have got organisations like this, and Warrnambool has not had one for quite a long time, like you've mentioned. And I think, obviously I've only been in business about 9 years, so I'm pretty new, and there's a lot of people that have been in business in this town for decades. Do you feel we've missed out on having that real advocacy group to be able to help us? I know you're on the other end of your business ownership life now with e-resources, but do you feel like we've really needed that support for a long period of time?
Well, to be honest, for a long time, I don't think I did. And I think it's really just being a successful business in Warrnambool for such a long time. I do feel that I have a responsibility to sort of give back in some way. Yep. But I've never really, the 26 years of e-resources is just gone quickly. But it's IT and it's a growth industry and it's been busy all of that time. I can't today speak for how other people may have lived that 26 years life in their particular business.
And it's obviously changing.
And it's changing. And I mean, the thoughts around how is AI going to affect their business? Again, I mentioned online shopping. Yeah. There's now recently new laws about work from home. These are conversations that I think Warrnambool businesses could really benefit in having. And sharing people's success stories would be really good. And the other thing I think is different industries. We tend to think about retail and tourism, and that's a huge part of Warrnambool. But there's other industries as well that I think about, particularly the industrial zone and the businesses out there. Who talks to them? How do they? Where do they go to have conversations about what's important to them? So I think there's a very large culture and mix there, and we just need to broaden that net about these conversations a little bit more. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve out of it.
K9000 Dog Wash, your locally owned and Australian manufactured DIY dog wash. The quick, easy and trusted solution for washing your dog, no matter their size. Warm water, gentle shampoo and conditioner, flea and tick rinse, and safe, comfortable drying for a stress-free finish. It's fast, affordable and always available when you need it. With a bike wash and pet laundry available too. K9000 Dog Wash, making bath time easier for you and more fun for them.
Southwest Local News is giving you an exclusive end of financial year offer. A chance to be seen by thousands of our viewers across the entire Southwest Victoria region. with the 30-second social media advert tailored especially for your business. Plus, graphic-based content to feature on southwestlocalnews.com.au and on our screen network across the southwest, all for $995. Get in touch today for more information.
We use the Ridley team, make a phone call, I get high quality advice. We tend to have 6 weekly visits from the team where we do a full farm walk and herd health check. They check in on production and the feeding rate. It's something I don't have to worry too much about because I'm always comfortable that they will have it under control. The feed that comes out of Ridley's fully confident every day of the year that it's high quality grain or pellets.
If it's time to add a little magic to your flooring and windows, our online catalogue is full of great ideas at great prices. There's magic in a Solomon's floor.
Yes, Grace, and there's magic in a Solomon's store.
G'day, Jeff Cook here at the Tyre Factory Warrnambool. We're more than just tyres. Our team not only specialise in helping you with your tyre needs, but other mechanical needs as well. The Tyre Factory Warrnambool has all the leading brands of tyres, including Hankook, Maxxis and VFG. Plus we also offer a number of wheel packages and wheel alignments. Get in touch with us at the Tyre Factory Warrnambool for your mechanical needs. We are more than just tyres at the Tyre Factory Warrnambool, Raglan Parade.
SHB Lending's Tony White has developed his customer-first approach over 30 years in the banking and finance industry. That experience allows Tony to provide valuable insights to his clients. Tony is passionate about seeing his clients achieve financial success. SHB Lending helps you manage financial arrangements, guiding you through key life moments. If you're thinking finance, it's simple. Think Tony White, SHB Lending.
At the Vet Group, we strive to provide you and your pet with a service of the highest standard, which is both compassionate and professional. Our aim is to keep your pet strong and healthy, with timely preventative advice and treatment when required. Should your pet need emergency care, we are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Your pet is an important member of your family, and as such, we treat them with the respect and empathy that they deserve. The Vet Group, your local vet.
B&B Furniture Plus now stock a range of adjustable beds. They have mobility aids to help you live your life to the fullest, and lift chairs for the best in comfort. B&B Furniture Plus is locally owned at 203 Lava Street, Warrnambool.
At ASAP Local Plumbing, we know that when it comes to your home or business, you need a team that gets the job done right the first time. From expert hot water system installations to full septic tank and drainage solutions, we handle the heavy lifting so you don't have to. We're your go-to trusted professionals for water quality and filtration. Get in touch today to book a quote or visit our website. ASAP Local Plumbing, your local plumbing experts.
There's a lot of enterprises that work out of their homes. You know, they don't actually have a shop front. They're so far away from a main street or anything like that. You're exactly the same as the industrial estate.
Yes.
How are we talking to those businesses and how can we support them? That's another part, isn't it?
Well, at the moment, we're not.
Yes, right. Yeah.
We're not having those conversations.
Well, as Annie said, it can be a lonely place in business.
Yeah.
You know, there's privacy issues, things like that we
Yes.
just can't openly discuss out in public.
Yeah.
But I think if we've got common challenges, we could talk about those, right? And we can come up with some solutions. And really, what would be great is to hear about the businesses in Warrnambool who found a way to move forward. You know, they've found a way to tackle online mega stores or online international sales sites like Alibaba or Amazon, as mentioned.
And I love the stories in our business community. Like, one thing I think Warrnambool and the Southwest is synonymous for is being at the centre of the entrepreneurial world for so long. You look right here in this studio where we're sitting at the Fletcher Jones, becoming such an iconic Australian entrepreneur just by making pants. Do you know what I mean? Something so simple but was so crucial back then. People didn't need to buy suits. They didn't need to buy wholes. All they wanted was just pants.
Yes.
And he said, righto, let's go and do that. And all of a sudden, that was pretty much what caused him to become one of the most well-known entrepreneurs in all of Australia. Yeah. And we see those stories so much in this community. There's so much of that stuff, like, there's people that started in garages that are just doing some really amazing things now, Annie, isn't there? And I think this group, this Greater Warrnambool group, and having these nights like the networking thing next week, it's a chance to swap those stories and inspire one another, isn't it?
Yes, and I personally want to take the stigma away from the bad news as well. You know, I've had a really tough 18 months breaking into the Warrnambool market. You know, we are a people that are stuck in our routines, whether we like it or not, and it's quite tricky. So, as someone who hasn't had the easiest run, I want to sit in a room and be like, goodness gracious, I've had a pretty tough time. And someone else says, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know, we often celebrate the good news stories, and that is so fantastic for our region. But let's have a safe place where you can say, heck, this isn't working for me, help me out.
Yeah.
And I really hope that we can break that stigma and bring a trustworthy space where someone can say, I am struggling. What can you do, or can you collaborate with me and we help one another?
Yeah.
So that's very much the core of why I want to be a part of it.
And I think from my perspective too, again, as a relatively new business owner, we're so competitive in Warrnambool and these areas, you know, instead of actually wanting to help each other out in different industries, in the same industry, we're always trying to get the cut above the rest, you know what I mean? Friendly competition's great, but let's actually help each other out and make sure that we've got a really strong economy to raise our families in, because it's on us, you know, like as the business community in Warrnambool and the people that are living here, we've got such a responsibility, and now with a united group, I think we've got some really good opportunity, Rod, don't we, to just get some minds together and just help each other out, and like Annie said, don't feel so isolated anymore and feel like you need to keep your cards so close to your chest. Show your cards and help.
Look, and I agree, and I think in my personal journey that I probably started out that way, you know, 25 years ago or whatever, because everything is on the line. So, you know, you want to hold on to your competitive advantage if you have one or you want to find one or whatever, and that's all true. But I think coming out on the other side now, I'm feeling more of a duty to say if I could help someone, or if this group can help somebody who's contemplating, or maybe they're starting up, knowing that more than 90% of businesses fail in the first year.
Yeah.
That's probably an old stat. You know, we've got to be able to do better than that. So I feel a sense of responsibility and a little less guarded about what worked for us for those years.
And just on that, you've got your first year, you mentioned it's hard enough, but to get through your first 5 years, you know, I'm heading closer to my 10th year now. So I'm in the middle of a different sort of scaling mindset at the moment, and I'm needing advice from people that have been in business for that long. And just to have that extra support to be able to give you some strategies, people like yourself, Rod, that have been around, that have run a successful business. You know, there's a lot of young business owners coming through that just don't know who they can talk to and even mentor. You know, this is probably the other thing about this week coming up is, you know, I love the flyer that you created where it said you never know who your next mentor is going to be, your next collaborator, your next business partner even. That's the exciting part about Greater Warrnambool, I reckon.
Well, thank you. We do have our challenges, and you know, finding out what this means to businesses in Warrnambool is probably, finding that value is probably the most important thing that we can do right now, which just means reaching out to people and doing as many events as we can that are really important to them. We've got plans about what that might look like, but you know, we really want to talk to businesses about, you know, is it finding staff? Is that their challenge? Is AI their challenge? Is the online competition their challenge? Is it something completely different? That's what we want to find out.
Tyranny of distance is one thing for me, Annie. Like, you know, being in obviously media is a little bit different, but there's so many services that we sometimes need to reach out for outside of our community, and probably having a group like this talking to businesses like mine going, what do we need here? How can we bring some resources into, like you say, bringing people into the region? That's all about, you know, swapping notes and going, geez, it would be really great if we had this particular organisation that could help with this challenge. And this is what this is about too, isn't it? Just trying to see what we as a core group can do to make those improvements.
Well, it's about identification. What are the challenges and how are they shared? And, you know, a challenge shared is a challenge halved, right? So if we can, between many of us share those challenges, or even reach out and say, I'm challenged in this way. Oh, actually, I've got a solution for that I found out 20 years ago.
Yep.
That's amazing. Share it with me. But if I can talk to what you sort of said before, which leads directly into our meeting next week.
Yep.
We talked at the very beginning of all of this, or when I came on board, about collaborative competition.
Yeah.
So yes, we're in competition with each other.
Yeah.
But if we work in a collaborative way, there's enough fish in the sea for all of us.
100%, yeah.
So we're actually creating a collaboration wall where it says, what can I give?
And that has a bit of
what do I
trust as
need?
well, doesn't it?
100%.
You know, you've got to make sure that you've got the
Absolutely.
right group of people there for the right
Yes,
reasons.
absolutely.
And that can't betray that trust.
Yes, yes. And I've been writing my notes on what I'm going to speak about next week, and one of those things is trust.
Yep.
It sits there at the core of all of our businesses, at the core of being a human. And at the end of the day, we are talking human to human as well as business to business, right? So we're looking at that collaboration. What can I offer? What can I give? We're also on your name badge, am I a mentor or am I a mentee?
Yeah, wow.
And self-identifying.
Amazing.
So I would look at myself as a mentor, but
Yep.
then maybe someone would look at me as their mentee. You know, like it sort of goes both ways. We're also giving people an opportunity to break the ice and have a conversation through, you know, a few fun ways like bingo and things like that just break this. If I had have met Rod Brugman as a business-to-business person, I would have been really intimidated.
Goodness me.
Right. But I met him as an artist, and that's really helpful for me.
Gosh.
But, you know,
He's like a big teddy bear. You know, look at him.
He is now.
It was the guitar. It was the guitar.
Oh,
Big
jeez.
tuba, maybe.
Yes, the tuba.
No, that would be my wife.
Yeah.
But if I can go up to Rod and say, hey, do you have a pet that works in your office? You know, something that just breaks the ice.
Yeah.
The intimidation's gone immediately,
Yep.
and we're sharing common ground.
Yep.
So instead of being competitors, suddenly we're collaborators, and then B2B later on, we
Yep.
can compete for those resources. But within this moment, we can collaborate and actually gain momentum.
Yeah.
So-
Well, just before I wrap it up, there's one other question I need, or one point I need to make that's really resonated with me about Greater Warrnambool. It's not something that you would like to have people to have guest speakers all the time, you know, to come and tell about what they're doing and how successful they've been. It's not something you join to go and have a networking event every second week and have a guest speaker from Melbourne come into the region, is it, right? It's about using the people that we've got locally just by conversation and things like the bingo and things like that. And pizzas, because that's this week. You can't do any of this important business without pizzas. But this is what it's about. It's not one of those organisations, is it, Rod?
Well, look, I think that's a really good question, and our committee has discussed this. And if we were that, it becomes a trade show.
Yep.
Yes.
And I don't think our value is to, you know, collect databases or business cards or whatever, you know, to refer business to people who are I don't know, out of town or whatever. I mean, one thing that we'd really like to do is try to focus on local resources first. So, for example, you could join any business listening to this right now could join the Chamber of Commerce in Melbourne, and they would offer you, you know, HR services and mentoring and all of that. But we have those resources in Warrnambool.
Yeah.
And so the value, I think, getting back to that key word of value, is knowing that. If we all just knew a little bit more about what we have to offer within this city, I think we could do a lot better cohesively. So we don't want to become somebody that just gets, you know, a service from Melbourne down all the time. That may happen.
Yeah.
You've sometimes got to, you know, bring in specialists, but it's not about trying to, you know, collect databases and refer business to outsiders of the city. A lot more personal service, a lot more sense of community would be the goal, would be our objective.
Finishing question, how do we get involved? If someone watching this is in business and they'd like to be part of Greater Warrnambool, how do they do it first, Annie? So let's go to that point.
Okay, yes.
What's the process
So
involved?
you can find us on social media. We're both on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you're involved, if you want to come next week, you can look at the event on Facebook and click register. We are also online at greaterwarrnambool.org, so you can go there. You can sign up to our newsletter, which will be sent out once a month. no spam, I promise, just with updates and things that are happening in our region. You can also just drop us a line, or if you see one of us down the street, we both love to chat.
Yeah,
so just come and have a conversation with us.
And this week, Rod, what's the plan for the night? Do people need to register to come along? What's the plan for the event?
The easiest way is to go to greaterwarrnambool.org.au, and these event details are on there. You can register as a business that just wants to sign up for our newsletter there, and you can also, there's a direct link with a barcode to be a guest at our event. There's no charge on this event, so we're just looking to build a community at this point.
Yeah, beautiful. Look, I'm really looking forward to it, guys, and it's so great to have the conversation with you guys. I know it's been a lot of work, a lot of hard hours, and a lot of great discussion, and the board. Very dynamic, very progressive, and I think we're in a really good chance to make this thing really, really good. So thank you very much for your time. And if you'd like to come along, make sure you jump onto greaterwarrnambool.org.au and make sure that you actually register. And I'm sure that everyone, us in this room today, and heaps of other people that will be there waiting for you during the week, would love to have a drink with you and a bit of slice of pizza, which would be good too. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for tuning in to Good Chat, and we will be back again for another episode soon.